Hello, YouTubers, world out there. Those of you that don't know who I am The-Juan-and-only. Those of you that are barely joining my channel, welcome. Those of y'all that are following along, I much appreciate it. And today's thing that we're going to do is I'm going to ask my wife various questions about being in a relationship with a Hispanic and her being Navajo, differences and, um, you know, similarities, stuff like that. So we'll see if we can get into that a little bit. So I think one of the biggest things was like me learning how to be respectful of like I guess the Navajo culture. I know like when I first moved here, when we first moved here, like the big one was like no whistling outside, right? And
Oh,
I know
yeah.
that would kind of get you
At
like
night or
yeah.
inside.
So you kind of tell us a little bit about how that flustered you, I guess.
It's just a no-no. It's basically like you're calling them and inviting them to your house to do stuff, I guess. And I don't like negative energy, so I
Right,
try
right.
not to do that. But it's a learning curve for everybody. So.
Right. So a little bit of context on what we just that first question. So when we moved here, it was like myself with my wife, and then my older son, and then my other daughter, my middle daughter, and we didn't know about all that. So like we'd be outside calling the dogs at nighttime, and we'd be whistling at them and stuff like that. And of course, my wife's very respectful, and she wouldn't like get mad right away. But then she explained to me later on that y'all shouldn't do that because like she was saying, it brings that negative juju. It's like you're inviting them to your house. So we do really try to like when people visit that don't know, we do try to explain that beforehand. And to them it might be kind of dumb or whatever, but I mean you have to be respectful of other people's cultures as well. Just how she's respectful of mine. Like I mean, there's not a lot of stuff that I follow Hispanic wise. I mean, I did grow up that way, but I mean, certain things that you're not supposed to leave the babies in the dark and stuff like that. Little ones. I mean, she's respectful of that, and they do the same thing. I mean, honestly, we sleep with the nightlight, so it kind of works out both ways. Let's get into the good one, honey. What about the food? What do you enjoy and not enjoy about the similarities and differences in food? Do you think?
Mm, we just have different comfort foods, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Like in the morning, you guys always have frijoles and the tortillas, but not homemade tortillas. The little corn tortillas. You guys
Right.
have that. And it just took me a while to get used to that because being native, we make our own homemade tortillas from flour and all that stuff. So
Right.
uh, we eat a lot of potatoes. You guys don't really do that. But we introduced you to, New Mexico actually, the green chili, the Hatch green chili.
Yeah.
When I was in Texas, it was so hard to explain to you that the Hatch green chili is different from your guys' poblanos or whatever you guys had.
It was the Anaheim peppers.
The Anaheim.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
How they were different, and you were like, I don't understand. I'm like, yeah,
You'll see.
You'll see when you get back, and sure enough, you're surprised. But the food, I guess, I don't know, it's different. You add a lot more seasonings than what we do. Ours is very simple.
Yeah.
So I guess, but it's good.
So a funny story about that, when we first came here to visit her folks, because we were on the way back from, because my grandmother had passed away, God rest her soul. But on the way back around to go back to work to Texas, we dropped by here so I could, meet her folks and hang out and stuff like that. So we went to this restaurant. I don't know if it's a Mexican restaurant, but it's a restaurant here. It's a New Mexico thing. And that's when, they were telling me that, yeah, the green chili is hot. And I'm like, oh, it's not. It's bell peppers, basically, right? That's what I thought. And we ordered chili con queso, right? It was like a dip. And we had that, and oh, my Lord. It was so hot, but it was so good. I really enjoyed it. And I was like, wow. I was like, like I didn't realize that the hatch green chili is different from the Anaheim chili. It looks the same, but it's just spicy. It's crazy. So it was really. It's actually a little. That one that we had was actually, I think, a little spicier than jalapenos. So it was really good. That's kind of the story behind that, and that's how I realized that hatch green chili is very hot, and they have different levels too. It's like medium, mild, medium, and then extra hot and hot, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, that's kind of that. And my wife was just reminding me also that now, well, like once my family came to visit here, and then they were seeing the little cats when the Adonis was born. So like we had like a baby shower type of thing, and all my family came down to visit. They ended up taking boxes of the hatch green chili home with them, and my dad actually roasted some and froze it, and he had chili for like 6 months, I think. And my sister took some and gave it to her friends and all that stuff. So ever since then, they really enjoy the hatch green chili. It's pretty cool. So one of the things that we talk about quite a bit actually is how we're different socially, I guess, Hispanics versus natives. And my wife will go into a little bit of that. Go ahead and explain that. What we mean by that.
Uh, y'all are definitely more expressive towards each other. Very like physical touch, hugging and talking to each other. It's a normal thing.
Right.
You talk to your sister and your brother like every day.
Yeah.
And the major difference is, well, basically with my family, we don't. A good example would be, I was gone in Texas for like 2 years, something like that. And I came back with no contact. We were at Walmart, and I saw my brother, and then we just walked past each other and just be like, "Oh, hey, how's it going?" And then just kept walking. like we didn't hug or anything, and that's just normal for us.
And this was after like not seeing him for like about a year or two, right?
Yeah.
You're not even talking on the phone, right? Really, or no contact.
We don't. It's kind of sad, but we don't really talk to each other unless it's important. So, but during social events and stuff, y'all are definitely more. I don't want to say louder, but
vocal.
Volume wise. It was a trip to get used to. Like, oh, we gotta go to my grandma's, your late grandma's, like funeral arrangements.
Services, I guess.
Yeah.
Probably the best thing.
And I was just surprised at how I couldn't hear myself. I couldn't hear anything. It was everybody was talking to everybody.
Yeah.
And then we had my older brother's services here that he got to attend. And he's like, "Why is everybody so quiet?"
And it's funny because I remember that because everybody sat down to eat, and it was like you could hear a pin drop. It's like
to me that was loud. I was like, "What are you talking about? This is like."
I felt so awkward. I felt like I was in a library. Like, am I allowed to talk? It's like, what's happening? And being respectful. Of course, I'm not going to be all loud and stuff. And so it is what it is. It's different cultures, I guess. Like it's a lot of similarities, but then there's differences. There really is.
Yeah, that's one of the big ones I had to get used to, and it's nice, I guess. The differences.
I think one of the coolest things on my end is that once, like for instance, my father, once we told him that we were dating and all that stuff, and he knew that she was Navajo, my dad's like the cutest thing ever. Like he would actually get on YouTube and look up stuff about Navajo and culture wise, and he would call me, "Did you know about this? And did you know that they do this and this and that?" And like really excited about it. My older sister that lives there with them in Vegas, actually bought him a really nice jacket, like a leather. What is it called? There's a name for it. but it's like a leather jacket with like all the little leather strings on it and everything. But yeah, he was like that was like one of the first things like he showed her when we went to go visit. Like check it out, you know. Like he was really excited about that.
I got that.
And then we bought him a blanket also that we took it to him. And right away, you know, my stepmother and him, like they put it on their bed right away. They were all excited about it, so that was pretty cool. So, I mean, they really embrace the culture and they embrace the idea of, you know, now he's all excited. You know, oh, you know, I have grandchildren that are half Navajo now, and you know, it's every. I mean, not just him. I think everybody's really cool about that. You know, so I think that's the way it was. You know, but one person that I will say that like love her to death. She'll like always had open arms towards me was grandma. Is grandma? It's like she calls me son and she gives me hugs, and I feel like sometimes some of the other family get a little jealous because, you know, like I'm her little, you know, favorite one or whatever, you know, and it's because I'm really chill. Like I come in and I give her a hug and I don't feel awkward with her at all. Like it's really nice and. You know, she's cool. She likes to interact in the videos and stuff. Y'all, if y'all want to go back, there's a short that I have with it where Navajo grandma having a fun time and she's doing her little tongue thing or whatever. It's hilarious. She's so cute. And I think pretty soon I'm hoping that we're going to be able to do a video to go visit her in her hogan. She has an old school hogan and, you know, she lives out on the res and everything. And I think we'll do a video about that soon. You know, hopefully before the winter comes in. I guess for me, going into one of the big ones was that you talked about earlier was affection. It took us a while to get on the same level as far as affection goes, and I'd like to believe that I opened you up a little bit to that. You know, like, and I don't mean just you know the good stuff. I mean like you know even just laying in bed together and enjoying each other's space and company and holding hands, you know, and stuff like that. I mean, Hispanics in general, we're very loving people. Like you know, it took a while, but I mean, I think I broke down that border for her, and I hope that you enjoy that, right?
Yeah.
Like I think a cute story that I have with us is, I knew that she loved me, and I was the one that said it first. I was like, "I love you," but it's so cute. But it took her about 5 minutes to get it out. Yes, right. It took her about 5 minutes, and she got me. She held both of my hands, stared into my eyes, said, "I'm gonna say it. Okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it." And you know, after a few minutes of that, you know, it was cute. And she finally said, "I love you." And oh my God, my heart just fluttered. And, you know, it felt so amazing. You know, and I know she felt that way. It's harder for her to express that. Now it's like nothing. Now it's like I love you. Bye. You know, we'll see you later. And it's always we end the phone call with I love you. And I'm glad that we were able to, you know, show our affection in that way as well. That's gonna wrap up this video. I just kind of wanted to introduce y'all to my wife a little bit. Like she doesn't really want to do these videos too much, but you know, I still want y'all to know who she is and who the little one is. She's back there terrorizing her. But other than that, if y'all like the content, please consider liking the videos, commenting on the videos, of course, subscribing to the videos. And we'll see y'all later, and we'll see y'all next time. As always, I am the one and only, and I don't want to cover your guys' face. Hey, bye!